So, hello everyone. I just thought this would be a bit of a chance to have a chat to you and share my next sweet inspiration with you. So this is the, let's try and get myself a bit more centered. There we go. So this is my monthly session to have a chat to you and share some ideas for using a particular suite in the catalogue. And so what I'm going to do today is show you what the suite contains, what's in there, what you might what goes with it, and then I'm going to share some ideas, some card samples that I've made already. They'll be sharing on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook page and various other places over the next month. So sweet inspiration. So this month it is one of the sweets from the new Stampin' Up catalogue, the January to June one, which is called Fine Art Floral. And this is a beautiful suite that is actually based on some paintings that one of the design team has created. And it is florals, it's gilding, it's pretty flowers and leaves, and I think you're going to love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to flip my camera up, so hopefully you won't feel too seasick, and then I will hopefully you'll be able to see my desk and see the different items that I've got to share. So bear with me one moment while we just adjust my camera. There we go. So let's just move that slightly. Okay, and let's do a bit of a flip. So hopefully you can now see that. Okay, so this is the suite. So what we've got is we've got the art gallery stamp set. So this is a photopolymer stamp set. So that means it's what you would class as clear plastic, and it's what we call two-step stamping. So this is where we stamp once in one colour and then stamp again over the top in a different colour to get lots of different shades, and I'm going to be sharing some of that with you shortly. Oh, I'm looking at a bit of a delay. Hopefully it's still, oh no, we're still live, that's good. What you've got here, you can see, are some dies that go with it. Can't remember what they're called, just put my catalogue out of hand, and in here we've got dies that cut out the main floral image, the spray, the leaves, this little sprig here, and also two sizes of banner to cut out all of these lovely sentiments. And you'll also see this large one here, which doesn't look very exciting, that says just want to say. So if I show you what that looks like, okay. So here you go. So this is where it cuts out, it's one die that cuts out these three words. And each of the words you can obviously combine with the phrases. So just want to say works with all of them. But you could say want to say sorry, or just to say I miss you, or just to say happy birthday. So you could combine all of those as you go along. Other things, so those are all the dies. You can see that I've cut out each of the images here to show you those die cuts. The other thing that goes with it is this beautiful embossing fold, which hopefully you can see here. So I'm hoping that I'm got a bit of a lag on my feed. Well, let's hope it's still working. Okay, so this lovely embossing folder is really beautifully textured. It's a 3D embossing folder, so that's one of the thick ones. And you can see the effect you get here. Just, standard embossing folder, you pop it in. Because it's thicker, you'll need to double check the sandwich on your machine to make sure that that's working okay. And then once you've actually embossed that, you can then do a couple of other nice things. Obviously you could ink it, but what you could also do is use one of the other products that's in this suite, which is gilding flakes. Now gilding flakes have been around for a few years, but it's lovely that Stampin' Up have brought some. They've brought out just a beautiful gold one. You can see here, comes in a big pot, used with some in a couple of ways. One of the ways is using a sticky embossing powder, but you see the lovely gold leaf there, and you just add that to your project and you can get lots of different effects. So I store mine in a box. I also keep a piece of sponge. It's like I think this is an indigo blue one, a Scoochie, but it's great for sort of burnishing what you've created. And you can get some lots of different effects. So that's the stamp set. Oh, that's the ribbon. It's like a lovely woven ribbon with not solid gold, just hints of gold. So things that you can do with your gilding flakes. You can die cut using adhesive sheet and then add your gilding flakes to get that there. You can use heat and stick powder to stamp a shape, a solid stamp. You can actually use a water brush. So once I'd embossed it, I just added some water onto my embossing folder, then use the heat and stick powder. So you heat it till it literally just turns glossy, and then stop because you don't want to overheat it because it'll dry it out, and then add your gilding flakes. You can add a strip of tear and tape to your card, and then just get the lovely straight lines that way. And then obviously, rather than just stamping an image, you can add some accents as well. And I don't know whether you can see that on the bottom corner. Hopefully you can just see I've actually done a bit of a water splatter. You might just be able to see it. And then again I've used the heat and stick powder. So you can actually have a gilded water splatter on there as well. So hopefully you can see that. Other things I've got on here are the acetate sheet. So this is to coordinate with the papers, some acetate sheets. So I'm going to show you those next. So if we have a look at the papers, they come in 12 by 12. So you get 2 sheets each of 6 designs. And you have got some lovely designs. So 3 of them are pink toned, 3 of the designs are blue tones. And on all of them you've got lovely floral images, and these have all been, as I said, hand painted and photographed. And then on the reverse you've then got a sort of more muted background colour. So some lovely roses there, and a sort of almost a mosaic tile on this one. Then you've got again sort of an overlay effect. And again, a lovely sort of floral field, beautiful sort of pumpkin pie and flirty flamingo. This one more sort of blues and greys, sort of pretty peacock there. So everything from pretty peacock sort of through coastal cabana, sort of pool party. And then finally, again, some lighter tones there, more the pool party tones. So those are that's the DSP. Now, what is also in this suite is the acetate. Now, these acetate sheets are 12 by 12 acetate sheets that you get 3 of in a pack, and 2 of those overlay perfectly onto the DSP. So there's your sheet, or part of a sheet of 12 by 12, and then that sheet goes straight over the top there. You can see it. So on the reverse it's silver, but obviously that wouldn't work with the pattern, but that looks so pretty. So if you're not sure about heat embossing on gilding, you can get a lovely gilded effect just by using the acetate sheet. The second one that coordinates is this lovely one here, which is beautiful in its own right, but you can add the sheet over the top to get another beautiful effect. With nice shine from my light there. And then the third one is this overall sort of floral pattern. You can see here, it's again silver on the one side. And the same, by the time you if you think about it, by the time you've added that to the front of a card, I mean, what else do you need to do? Add a sentiment and you're sorted. So that's the DSP. So wonderful thing about this gilding flakes is you can use in several different ways. So I showed you some ways there. This is another way of creating a gold background, and then I've stamped onto the front of window sheet acetate, so you get this image. This one I've actually stamped and used the heat embossing with the heat and stick powder to get this lovely golden image here by adding the gilding flakes afterwards. And then this final one is just some partial ones, so I've used some glue to add accents there, and you've got a so three very different looks from using gilding flakes, so a little bit different, and different to heat embossing. You couldn't get this same effect with heat embossing, and this one particularly I think is lovely. This one is more like ordinary heat embossing, but what I like is when you get the chunks of gilding flakes, it gives a more solid effect, which is just great fun. Okay, so that's all to do with gilding. So then we're on to the stamp set and colours. Okay, so here we go. Colours. So I have gone through and created lots of colour combinations, and this is one of the things I'll share in when anybody places an order. I've got some sheets which I'll just share the colour combinations, so you can have a look through and see which is your preference. So I've done two things. I've done it on a sheet, and then I've cut up, I did it at the same time obviously, and I've created my own little swatch pack with some colours which I've written on the background what those are, and pop those together. Just so I've got something to refer to, and you can kind of hold it next to some DSP and kind of go, oh well, what would look good with this one? Oh, actually, no, it's not quite that one, and then you sort of pick and choose whatever colour suits that particular paper that you're using at that time. So I've gone through, I've kind of done lovely sort of reds and stuff, deeper reds. Then gone through with the oranges. So these are all the kind of shades that I don't very often use. So kind of anything from Bumblebee and Pumpkin Pie through to the kind of real Calypso Coral terracotta tile. Some yellows there. And it looks as if I've forgotten to add the accents on a couple of those, so I might have to go back and do that. Through to greens, and most of you who follow me, I don't do much with green, but there are some lovely colour combos here. Things like Just Jade and Mint Macaron, I think it's particularly like, Pear Pizzazz and Mossy Meadow, another lovely one. Then onto the blues, and these are kind of bluey greens through to blues as well. So true blues and sort of greeny blues. But again, a little bit different. Seaside Spray and Pacific Point look lovely together. Seaside Spray and Misty Moonlight, again, another one I like. Perhaps it's because I like Seaside Spray. Sort of cool blues. Then on to kind of violets, purples, and some different ones there. I mean, not all of these really, to my mind work, but sometimes put them on their own and they look, they look different again. So I'll pop those, those when you place an order, I'll send those through to you as a list of different colour combos. So those are the colour combinations. And then finally, I guess it's on to actually share a few samples with you that I've got. So this is some simple stamping. So if you're not into die cutting yet, you can still get lovely effects. And this is showing you the lovely new ombre paper, which we've got as a free gift as part of Celebration. And again, with the ombre paper there and using the textured folder. All of these will be going onto my blog and video. So if you want to know about any of these, come drop me a message and I can let you know when it's going to be posted. So again, a couple of cards, blues, some greeny blues. So from simple stamping through to adding a bit of die cutting in. Suspension cards with some partial gilding on there. Hopefully you can see that. Just adding a few accents in. Showing off the lovely acetate here, just a small piece. You can see you can make it go a really long way, just adding a small piece, and by adding it behind your main panel, you're not going to have any issues there with glue showing through. Stable fold card, and again I'm just going to sort of show you how to avoid the issues with glue showing through on that. Double point card. Then we're going to have a little pop-up card. And then we're on to some panel cards. So using those lovely acetate panels to create really stunning cards. A little bit of bling on there as well. And then finally, a U-fold card as well. So there we go. That's just to share with you the sweet inspiration. I hope that's inspired you. I'm probably going to sort out an interactive, probably Microsoft Teams event. So if you'd like to come along to that, you know, let me know. Or if there's anything particular you'd like to do as part of my customer group, then likewise let me know. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll pop back and see you again soon with the next sweet inspiration next month. Thanks for watching. Bye now.